Good day all, welcome back to our new episode of Go Global Podcast Season 3. This is Muki again and I'm hosting today's podcast. Previously, we already have met our reception teacher where he enlightened us how reception positively affect child growth mentally and physically and ready them for primary level. And today we will be meeting with our new teacher, Teacher Chris, for primary teacher for foreign language program. So without further ado, I would love to invite everybody meet Teacher Chris with me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Teacher Chris.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good today. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very good.
Well, I would love to give you a chance to introduce yourself to the audience to get to know you a bit more, please.
Sure. So I've been living in Cambodia for 11 years now. I've been a teacher for 6 of those years. Teaching a mixed ability of levels from high school down to preschool, but most of my experience is in kindergarten and year 1, which is where I currently teach.
Such a very long time. Actually, you have been touched in lower level as well, preschool, kindergarten, and
I have, yes. So it gives me a very broad spectrum of understanding with the overall growth of a child and development of a child. Yeah.
Okay, but for more experiences in primary in year 1 is most.
Yes, most of my experiences.
Okay.
In there,
well, as I can see, mostly in your kids in class. I mean, mostly in your class, like student having 6 to 7 years old.
Yeah.
I just would love to know, like, what do they usually bring to your classes from reception?
Well, reception usually gives them a good base, a good foundation in terms of the basic phonics, the basic sounds of the letters, a, b, k, d, for example, and basic words, so what we call CVC words, so a consonant, vowel, consonant word like cat. So they usually come with being able to read very basic words, to be able to write uppercase and lowercase letters, and have a basic knowledge of phonics.
As well.
Yeah.
And how long does it usually take to adjust to new class and routine with you, especially in your TM?
Yeah. It varies per child. It varies based on their experience, how long they've been in school, what they're like, whether they're new to the school, whether it's a completely new environment for them.
Yes.
Some of the students this year, it's actually their first time in school. So it's a big adaptation for them because they've never been in that environment before. Where other kids have been in since preschool reception, so they're a little bit more prepared. So it does vary pupil to pupil. But also, I find year 1 is a big step up from reception. So in year 1, we start learning grammar.
Yes. What kind of grammar, sorry?
We learn the verb to be. We learn the verb to be. We start learning the use of this and that. And some spelling grammar as well, where to use big letters, where to use full stops, what's a noun, what's an adjective. So it's a big step up from the reception level to year 1.
Wow. Like many things to let them study, like adapt it in year 1 class.
So some kids adapt quite quickly to that. Others need a little bit more time and a little bit more help.
Right.
So it varies on the child, but yes.
Like back to reception, they have more time to play. Like, but in like when they just change, they have to adapt it in year 1, which is primary. It's basic learning for primary classes. So they have to learn a lot.
Yeah,
more.
it's a big step. It's a big step. That difference from reception to year 1. It's a big adjustment for sure.
Well, but I just would love to know, like in year 1 or primary classes, how many subjects and what are they? Can you please just explain me in a few of each?
Of course. We do English, which we cover. We break down into different parts of English. We have writing, speaking, listening, and we obviously cover grammar as well. So reading is a big part of this year. So that's English. We also do maths, geography, and science. And art as well, actually. We do art, which is also important. Yes.
Yes, but in art, I usually see you bring out of the kid in, like a school environment outside to do the project. And I just want to know what kind of project in year one mostly that you used to do it.
Well, the project side of what we do is really important, and I think that's new into year one, is something new that they do. The project so far that we've done has been to make a bird feeder, which was for science, which really links into understanding what animals eat, which links into what we learn quite well. So the projects really reinforce what we're learning in class.
Yes.
The project for this term, which we're going to start soon, is something they're really looking forward to, which is we're going to make a model house on stilts. We're learning about different environments and different houses and how people live. So that's the project for this term, which all the kids are very, very excited about.
They very active doing the project, very appreciate this.
Yeah, and previously we've done a big maps of the school where they've learned to draw maps.
Global map.
Yeah,
wow.
a map of the school.
Yes.
But the projects are really important as well. So it's not just something fun that we do. It is fun and we make it fun, but it's an important stage in their learning. It's something that kids, when they grow up, they don't, in my opinion, and even having a child, even my son himself, it's very much they want to just do things fast. I'm speaking very generally here. They want to just do things fast and it's finished, and then something else and something else and something else.
Yes.
It's just the way that most kids are. So that the project really teaches them that they can take their time on something and see the rewards of that, of doing something slowly over the course of a few weeks, taking their time, taking their effort into creating something that at the end they can be really proud of. So it teaches them that if they put effort into things and take their time with things, that the end result can be something really, really good. And they tend to take a lot of pride in that, and it really then helps them with their work as well and with other aspects of their life and their growth and their development.
Very beneficial.
It is,
for art, it's a part of subject in year one. But back to reading for English, I can see that year one also start with a reading, to get to know more about grammar structure and more vocabulary. This question, I would love to know, what are the methods do you use for help them improve more reading in English?
So reading's a big focus this year. Reading generally really helps with their development in English, and not just their ability to read, but it helps with their pronunciation, it helps with the grammar because they're reading correct grammar, and it helps with the speaking because they're saying the words. And it helps with the vocab. It really helps with the vocab because instead of just seeing words in a book, they're also seeing pictures, so they can relate those words to the pictures, and it really helps them remember those words. So reading's really a big part of this year, because they go from reading very basic sentences, I have a cat, I like to swim, things like this, to reading much more complex things. So and linked to that is phonics. So we have a separate phonics class to a reading class, and they kind of go hand in hand. So what they learn in phonics, they can then start applying to their reading. And once again, the phonics is where it really is a big step up from year one. So we start learning the digraphs and the diphthongs, which are when two letters come together, the sound changes. So reception, as I said, is very much a, b, k, d, f, g, which is really important because it gives them that base knowledge of the basic sounds. But then in year one, we start building on that. So we start learning that when k and h come together, it's no longer k and h, it's ch. So we start learning these sounds. And this is where, if you get it right at this stage, the pronunciation going forward for the rest of the child's education can be really good.
It's very helpful for the kids.
It's a very important year.
Very,
year
very
one.
important
In my opinion, if you get year one right, then it helps because of generally the age of the kid as well. It helps with their general attitude towards learning, but it also just gives them a really good base foundation level to build on in year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. If you get year one right, it's a really, really important year. Yeah.
Sounds busy.
It is, yeah.
Sounds busy,
It
right?
is. It can be challenging because of the age of the kids. They're at that age, 6 or 7, where they're growing. They're not a kid anymore. They're not a baby anymore. But they're obviously not an adult either, or even a teenager. So it's that balance. So
Yes.
you know, they have to. And it's about trying to get them to enjoy learning, and that's key. That's key.
Very nice. Thank you, Teacher Chris. I like this. So it's a basic of reading pronoun, like phonics, like as you just mentioned.
Yeah, the phonics and
you're very
pronunciation.
basic. Yeah, for them to be ready to another classes in primary classes as
Yeah.
well. And well, how do you prepare them to year one and make sure all the kids go smooth in another classes next year?
Well, kids all have different abilities, and some kids are really good at one thing and they might lack in other things. Some kids are just great at everything. So it's about almost understanding each pupil and understanding what their strengths are and what they need help with. So there's obviously a base level of what they have to get to be ready for year one. They need to be able to read to a certain ability. They need to be able to speak to a certain level. So there's certain things that there is a base level there that they have to get to. And it's kind of individually how you understand how to get that child there who maybe needs a little bit more help in one area. So it's really understanding the individual and getting the most out of them and encouraging them in the right way.
Yeah, and I just want you to leave some comment of for any last thought on what parents should know about importance of enrolling students to the school earlier.
It's important. It's important in my opinion for a few different reasons. One is socially. I think it's important for a child to interact socially with other children. I also think that the independence of a child and coming away from their parent and being independent in a new environment for their overall development is really important for them. And I think learning to interact with other children, as I said, socially is very important. And following rules that are away from the home environment, I think is also beneficial for them. And then to help prepare them for their education, I think that the sooner they're introduced in the right way to the language, the more they will grasp, the more they will understand. From a young age, children learn without realizing they're learning. Which is great. As you get older, it's not so much like that sometimes. It can be more, I gotta learn kind of thing, you know. But as a child, they just learn. And anyone that is a parent or has had a child, you see from a very, very young age, all they want to do is communicate with people and they're taking in the world around them.
Yeah, more
So
communicate. It's very important.
that's all children want to
All
do
children
is
need to
be
do.
part of everything and communicate. So when they're in that environment, and for us if it's an English speaking environment, they're taking that in, they're learning, and it really helps them have that base foundation level. The more they're exposed to, it then gets easier and easier
Yeah.
to learn.
You make me like more excited to listen. I feel like I'm stuck and look at you like, wow, you have a lot of, idea in classroom. And I think maybe
it's helped me personally because I'm a dad, so I have a 5.5-year-old.
Yes.
So it's helped me as well. Going through the experience I have with kids here, it helps me be a father as well and understand my child's development and
like
learning,
that, yeah.
and also relating to the kids that I teach. You know, I think for me being a parent, I see every child as someone's child. You know,
Right.
I say goodbye to my son as he goes to school each day, and I'm like, oh, I wish, you know, if, like, your teachers are so lucky to get to spend the day with you. So I think about that when I'm teaching here. I really try and recognise each child as an individual and someone's daughter or someone's son.
Very nice.
And really try and help them to the best of my ability.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Teacher Chris, for
Welcome.
coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, for coming here and give me more insight of Year 1 class. And yeah, as you mentioned that Year 1 is the first stage of enrolling to a primary class. Yeah, and we work a lot. I can see that math, science, what else? Geography. Yeah, geography, like both writing, speaking, and reading, also listening at some time.
Yeah.
And it very, very, very good. And I know that parents should consider this and think more that how important of enrolling students to this earlier. And thank you very much, Teacher Chris, again. Oh,
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
thank you,
Thank
for
you.
coming today, my special speaker. Yeah,
Yes.
and thank you everybody for watching this video until the end. I will see you guys next episode. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.